What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about HyperLiquid today. Hype USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, and let's get into it. It is the 27th day of June. Here we are, $63.20 with roughly 1 day. It says 12 hours left. It's more like 1 day, 11 hours left in this week. You're down about 5.6% on the week so far, and what you've done is you've actually pulled back and you're finding support at this area of prior resistance. Now, this might not be the best representation of the all-time history on HyperLiquid. Let's actually do this here. We'll get the all-time history. You can see when HyperLiquid first debuted, right? Whenever it had its first debut, it ICO'd. It was created as far as a token goes for investing on exchanges. Here, whenever you topped off, your distribution was not immediate. You did not just see an immediate sell-off. You saw a multi-month volatile up and down moment of distribution, and then you sold off. Then it was fast. Whenever you pumped here, you saw a multi-month and really a lot longer of a distribution phase than you saw this first time, volatile, and then you picked up the pace. Then you sold off. Here, we're doing the same thing. We're distributing. There you go. We're distributing. There's distribution. I can't say it. I slept well last night, I swear. Um, and in that, we could see lower highs. In that, we could see higher highs. So that remains to be seen. My thoughts are that over the months to come, we will probably be more or less in this area. So whenever you're at these low points, it's a good time to buy. When you're at the high points, it's a good time to sell. Where are the lows and the highs? I suppose we're still figuring that out. But for now, weekly closing low right there, weekly closing high right here. I would say anything above this level is the highs, anything below $60 is the lows. Anything above 70 is the highs, anything below 60 is the lows. And if you trade over the coming months based off of that, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, it makes sense to me, man. It makes sense to me that there's probably going to be several opportunities coming our way. Very tradable coin for HyperLiquid. If you're not using high leverage, maybe if you're only doing spot or low leverage, it could be very low risk, and you have some tight stop losses too. And most importantly, don't trade in no man's land where you're in between these levels, right? Like this, if you're looking to go long, you're even a little bit late to the party here. But I digress. I digress. It makes sense to me that in this distribution phase, we would probably be moving higher, much like what we did back here. That's what makes sense to me, and the reason why is from here, from a high to a low, you found resistance above your 1272. You actually initially found resistance below your 1272. Came back, found support at prior resistance back here, and then slowly made your way up to the 1272, even near the 1414. Ultimately checking back at the 1272, and then you dump down, okay? We're doing the same thing here. At least so far we are. From a high to a low, we got very close to the 1272, guys. Very, very close. And that's where we started to find resistance. We pulled back. We found support at this prior area, prior high close, just like we did last time. And now we're slowly moving up. We're still getting higher lows. I would think that we do continue to move higher, and I would think that we at least interact with $80, if not something around $90 to $100 before we start to move down. I don't think that we get all the way up to 114. That's not my expectation, but it's still technically a possible target. I would more focus on this like $95 to $80 area, because with the 1414, typically you actually don't stop just below it. Typically you do stop just above it. So I would say, again, anything around $100 to $80, $80 to $100, that's appropriate sounding in my head. Okay, I don't think we get to 100. I'd be surprised if we got above 95, but I would not be surprised if we got above 80. Being at $63 now, if you're selling, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, good for you if you bought down here. Bad for you if you bought up here, because I think that it is going to come back up a little bit. I think that we are going to see that growth. I've maintained a bullish stance to $80 this whole time that we've been here. And we were bearish down here for a second. We were bearish up here for prices down here for a second, calling for prices around $60 to $55, which was very appropriate. And ever since then, we've been bullish. Kind of fumbled this last high. I thought we were going to make it to $80 by there, but we got pretty close, man. I mean, we got to $77. Pretty close. We're probably on our way moving higher still from here. I think we look more bullish than bearish. And again, in this very limited time frame, this very limited historical data that we have for HyperLiquid, the two times that we've seen immense growth so far, we had a multi-month distribution phase where we were volatile, we kind of moved sideways, and then the pace picked up to the downside. Okay, I expect in time HyperLiquid will move down. We will see a higher low. I expect that's going to happen. But first, we're probably going to distribute. I just want to say it in a different dialect. Distribute. We're going to distribute because again we've moved up here and we've only started to really do this. So I don't think it's going to be a quick sell off. I think we have a little bit higher to go in that time, and then we will sell off. I think that's what's going to happen. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I am curious. Let's look at this. Hold on real quick. I want to look at this with Bitcoin. Let's compare it over Bitcoin real quick. I have a whole different thought here. If it merits any kind of significance, we'll run with it. If it doesn't, then I'll just say, never mind. Let me see here. Hold on. Log, and we will scrunch it. We'll scrunch it. Okay. Let's get this one above. We'll get this one below. Okay, we'll scrunch it some more. Scrunching scrunchers. Okay. Let's see. Here, when you started to pick up the pace, we could say here, maybe here. I'm just going to leave these two kind of areas there. So here, when you started to pick up the pace to the downside, you did move in tandem with Bitcoin down. I have a point. Hear me out. Okay, this will tie into Bitcoin. Here, you weren't really, I mean, you picked up the pace a little bit, but you were still in this sideways kind of zone. You see what I'm saying? Where here, when you picked up the pace, you were breaking out. And here, for Bitcoin, you're still in the sideways zone, but at this line, that's when Bitcoin started to pick up the pace down as well. What I'm getting at here is that HyperLiquid might consolidate for another month, or maybe 2, maybe 3 or 4, like it did last time, 5, 6, whatever, however long it is. I don't think we'll consolidate this long. I don't think we'll distribute this long. It'll probably be a shorter amount of time like this. What I'm getting at here, and it's a little two for one TA, is that when we can expect to see HyperLiquid start to shit, that's probably also when we can expect Bitcoin to be on its next move down. Bitcoin will probably consolidate in the meantime, and then whenever it makes its next move down, it'll probably be in tandem with HyperLiquid's next move down. Does that make sense? Cool. I hope it makes sense. It's just a theory. Again, this is based off of 2 prior iterations. We don't have a lot of data with this, but it's an idea nonetheless. It's what we've got. You know, looking at this on the 1 hour time frame, shifting gears, getting into the short term stuff. The 1 hour, and maybe actually now we can use some volume. We don't need the all-time history chart for this stuff. We'll go to Bybit. Where's my volume? Did I mute it? There we go. There we go. There's the volume. It's the weekend. We're probably not going to get a whole lot of volume. Although, a lot of volume coming in on this pump. A lot of volume at the lows coming in on this pump. A little double bottom fake out there. A lot of volume coming in on this pump. I think you want to move higher, man. I mean, just looking at the price action, you look like you want to move higher. Looking at the RSI. RSI is neutral. The price action is pretty neutral. Stochastics look bullish here, but very volatile. I mean, you're going to move up. You moved up last time. What did that do for you? Didn't do much. MACD is bullish. You actually had a point to bounce. You're set up. I think you're set up to do well. It's the weekend, which is unfortunate. We don't typically see exuberant price action over the weekend, but again, not typically. Sometimes we do. 4 hour time frame, we look at the RSI, and we do have these lower highs coming into play here, lower lows. We're moving up. We're looking good. We look like we're breaking out. I mean, it's a neutral position here because you're in the 50. You're right around the 50, the neutral level of the RSI itself. But you're doing some bullish things outside of that. So, and I mean, if you really want to look at it, didn't get oversold here. Yes, you got oversold here, but the tide was turning. You didn't get oversold here. You got pretty overbought here, and you really didn't get oversold here as well. Still maintaining this overall kind of bullish dynamic, I would say, with HyperLiquid on this 4 hour time frame. So that gets me excited. That hype is going to go higher. New all-time highs are coming. Stochastics look bullish enough here. I mean, yeah, you're coming down. Bounce off the 50. You could come down, reset. Maybe you form a slightly lower low, and then you still move up. I'm not expecting that personally. I think that you will move higher, but I digress. MACD is bearish overall. Again, same kind of idea. Maybe you move down a little bit more first. I'm not calling for that, but maybe you do. Maybe you do. The MACD is not really going to help us out right now. Let's see. Hold on. Right at the 382. If we can get a 4 hour time frame to close above $63.80, we're bullish. If we get a 4-hour time frame to close below $62.70, maybe we do go back down to these lows or even just a little bit below there. So $62.70 bearish, $63.80 bullish. Okay, 4-hour time frame closing above. Ideally 2 in a row. You don't just want one, but I bet even if we just close one, it'll probably be a moniker of direction, right? It'll be it'll be a signal that we are going to go in whatever direction we're closing above or below there. Looking at this on the daily time frame. Sorry, guys. Let's see. You do kind of look like you're in a diamond pattern, right? It's also an M shape, right? You do have the M shape. M's are bad, but it's not valid until you get below this low. If this is a diamond, which it kind of has that diamond shape, but it's not as volatile as I'd like to. I mean, like, yes, this is volatile, but typically diamonds, they're very volatile in the beginning of the pattern, and then you have that weird little that little swish swash, and then they're very volatile at the end of the pattern. Typically, it's like this, where we don't really have these little. We don't have that here. You know, it's not. It's kind of there. It's not there though. I don't know if it is a diamond. If it is a diamond, the measure move more or less would be something like this. We'd probably move up to $94. It's perfect. It's it could be a diamond. Maybe it is. I don't know. Sometimes the measure move works out and it's not a diamond, but maybe it is a diamond. I don't know. It checks out, man. $94. It's right where the target area, the upper limits of the target range that that we've identified already. If this is a high to a low here, 1618's right there at 91, 1886 right there at 98. I mean, it makes sense, man. It makes sense to target this $90, $95 area. Yeah, Leaf, if you're watching this and you're still holding your hype, man, I think, I know you sold. I don't know how much you sold, if you sold all of it or if you've gotten back in. I know you're talking about getting back in too, and I think it went to the levels you wanted. But if you're watching this, I think you got a solid chance, man. I think anybody holding hype right now has a solid chance of this thing going up to $90 or more. Um, you know, if you bought down here, you bought along the way here. I get it. You know, take your profits, whatever. In time, HyperLiquid will come down. So here's my thoughts. Just quick little thing before we end the video here. If if you have sold HyperLiquid or you're thinking about buying it, but you're not pulling the trigger until we see, and then the next day you see prices go up here, you sold in this area, you wanted to buy in this area, but you didn't do it, whatever the case may be, and you see price do this, don't buy. If the price goes higher, don't buy. Just be patient, because as time goes on, as the months go on, I'm very confident we will likely see prices that are back around, probably below $40, if not at least around there. Maybe even below $30, in time. It's quite possible. So just be patient, have patience. I don't really have anything else to say. I've said enough, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Yes, there's bearish divergence on the weekly RSI. Well, actually, no, there's not, technically. Lower highs, but it's lower highs in the price, too, on a closing basis. So, actually, no bearish divergence there. There's nothing holding you back, man. There's nothing holding me back. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.